Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Kakodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel brought, living up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, wherever they may be. This is a lesson through the Spirit. Prophecy is moving, and we're in the time of the America's demise. Okay, we're in the time of the second coming of Yahweh Shai, who you ignorantly call Christ. Okay, so what manner of persons are we to be watching and speaking on these prophecies, man? Because that's what it's really about at the end of the day. You know, we're set up to defend the gospel and to speak about the impending doom of this Edomite kingdom, which is crumbling. You can see the spirits of people are turning up, people are becoming petty, you know, the hatred, the tension, all types of shit, you know. So what manner of persons are we to be? Because when I'm looking at it just through spectation and speculating in the spirit, I feel like we're the only ones that have a sound mind. You know, everybody else is like on edge and they're just bugging out and just acting real inconvenient, you know, over nothing, you know. But nonetheless, the men of the Lord, hey, we got to stay upon our watch and we have to stay in the spirit. So this is a crazy, man, how the Lord is bringing this together, because it says Turkey signals desire to join Brics and abandon EU membership dreams. Now, I don't know if you remember, I think it was back in 2014, going back into that coup, okay, with Turkey. And at that point, I believe that they realized that America was setting up, from what I can remember, America was setting up these, you had ISSL or ISIS or ISIL, which is the small hat intelligence force. I'll say it that way. I won't say Israelite, what is it? Secret intelligence service or something like that, to that degree. But regardless of that, Turkey have been realizing for the longest that the West is playing dirty. Okay, now we always said that even though they are partners and they are allies on papers, America's allies are going to come against them. Okay, because they're seeing the wickedness and the tyranny, and ultimately it's becoming a liability to all these European countries. Okay, so it says Turkey is interested in joining the Brics group of emerging economies. It says Brics is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And you're going to see how we're going to link this to Ezekiel 38. It says the organization, which is believed to be on the road to dominating the global economy, recently announced its willingness to expand by inviting Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Nations to join the bloc. Okay, now this is real spiritual, because according to Ezekiel 38, hey, these nations here play a major key role in biblical prophecy. This is why I've always speculated through the Spirit and brothers as well. We've always mentioned that before the MOTB is established and made a global thing, I'll say it that way, you're going to already have the chess pieces in place in order to, or the chess pieces in place, or the puzzle pieces in place, so this prophecy can roll right into the next. Because let's just say if the MOTB was to be established first, and then all of a sudden we have to wait for these nations to have particular dealings and ill dealings with one another, for them to turn against one another. That's a whole nother lifetime. So as this prophecy is being brewed, or the prophecy of the MOTB being brewed behind the scenes, you can easily see that the Lord is shaping a world stage for World War III, which is going to swiftly come, because the scriptures say, behold, the third woe coming quickly. Okay, but it says Brics' original 5 members had indicated that their priorities going forward would expand to include tackling financial and economic issues, such as pushing for reforms to the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, and establishing the Brics Interbank Cooperation Mechanism. Furthermore, Brics has indicated its desire to expand beyond tackling economies and finance by working together to resolve regional issues, such as Iran's desire to establish a nuclear program and ongoing conflicts in Libya, Syria, and Afghanistan. It says Turkish Foreign Affairs Minister Hakan Fidan noted on Tuesday, June 4th, that his country is interested in joining Brics. Certainly, we have liked to become a member of Brics, so we'll see how that goes this year. And allegedly, I believe that by October this year, from what we've come across and from what I've read, and, just through, hearsay, but also what we've read, allegedly, these nations in Brics are supposed to be succeeding from the dollar and starting on particular petition of currency. So with that being said, if that is the case, hey, we can see hyperinflation possibly sometime soon in the near future, just depending on what they do. Because we know that Esau is good for putting plans into motion, and then he redact on them, and then he move forward, and then he'll hold back. But there's going to come a time that the Most High is going to let this shit happen, all right? And quite frankly, we can't wait, because you people got to get humbled, man. Okay, you people are completely out of order. But it says, in an interview with the South China Morning Post, Fidan noted that the Brics group could offer Turkey a good alternative to its long-standing and repeatedly stalled desire to join the European Union, especially if Ankara is interested in boosting its economic prospects. But it says Fidan noted that while Turkey was in customs union with the EU, it was still exploring new opportunities for economic cooperation, including with Brics. The foreign minister noted that he was looking forward to attending the meeting in Russia to discuss the development of new mechanisms for international cooperation in a meeting that will include the foreign ministers of Brics nations. It says one of the topics on the agenda is expected to be the possibility of Turkey joining the bloc. It's prophecy, baby. It says we cannot ignore the facts that Brics, as an important cooperation platform, offers some other countries a good alternative, said Fidan. Okay, we see potential in Brics, but Russia willing to welcome Turkey. Okay, so when we go to the book of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, we're going to read it. This is the book of Ezekiel 38, and I'm going to start at verses 2. It says, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, okay, or Magog, which is from Gog, the chief priest of Meshech and Tubal, and prophecy against him. Okay, now those were ancient Japhetic nations, but now if you look at the Russians today, they assume the lands and the identities of these ancient Japhetic nations. So we know today that this is talking about the land of Russia. Okay, even scholars can agree with that sentiment or with that point. But it reads, it says, and say, thus says the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, because at the end of the day, you're still Edomites, and the Most High is against Esau. It says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thy army, and horsemen, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shield, all of them handling swords, which sounds like war. Okay, this sounds like a declaration of war. Military drills. Russia has been testing on nukes, or attempted to test nukes and different weapons, okay, that can reach this side of the earth within minutes. You see, they're basically warning the West, and they're basically saying that the West is basically a terror to the world. And the whole world is waking up to the fact that the Western economies are nothing but a shit show, man. Okay, you got this guy, Joe Biden, shitting on himself on stage, on national TV. And this is the guy that you Jakes put in office for president. Like, he's not going to win another election, all right? I don't see that happening. Or if he does stay in there, then they have to declare some type of state of an emergency. You know, but we have to wait and see. But regardless of it, this dude Biden, he ain't fit to lead a country into another world war. All right, this is just, it's this guy, he's through. He's through. Tripping upstairs, shitting on himself. You know, and he could be acting, but regardless of it, you know, it's a done deal. This place is a joke. Okay, and it's not to be taken seriously. But it says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, because the Most High is going to bring them back to that old Soviet Union spirit, that primitive bear-like spirit. Okay, prior to the Cold War, hey, Russia was a force to be reckoned with, man. Okay, this is why they set up the national, in the NATO, stands for National Atlantic Treaty Organization, against the Eastern Bloc, the Soviet Union. I think back to 1949, if I'm not mistaken. But it says here, all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, okay? So remember, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all right? Now, going down here, Russia willing to welcome Turkey. Now, when we go back up, it says Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, okay? You got Libya, all these nations. But anyway, it says, for its part, Russia has indicated its willingness to become Ankara's interest in joining the bloc. But the Russian foreign minister was Sergei Lavrov said on Friday, May 31st, that Brics doors are open to representatives of the most diverse economic and political systems and macro regions. Now, let's look up what macro region means. I'm pretty sure we can figure it out just by looking at the word, but just to get a definitive meaning on it. It says a macro region is a geopolitical subdivision. Okay, and when you think of geopolitics, you think of war, economics, anything that thrives around those particular denominators. But it says subdivision that encompasses several traditionally or politically defined regions or countries. So like you got NATO and the EU, you know, with America, Canada, Turkey, you know, those nations are part of the NATO. But then you got the UK, which is part of the EU, you know, Germany, Greece, France, part of the EU Union, European Union, but they're still partner allied states. Okay, but it says the meaning may vary, with the common denominator being cultural, economical, historical, or social similarity within a micro region. It reads the term is often used in the context of globalization. It may refer to various kinds of grouping of nation states based on geographical proximity. In Romania, it says a micro Guinea are a higher level of subdivision of the country. Okay, so that's pretty self-explanatory. But it says the only condition is that you must agree to work based on a key principle of the sovereign equality of the states he added. So basically you have to serve their best interest. So Russia have alt with the West, then Turkey have to have alt with the West. But ultimately, I'm thinking Turkey is just going to say, the hell with America. The hell with you Western allies, man. Okay, because if anybody have a spiritual eyesight, even a blind person can see that this place is headed to oblivion. But it says, several days later, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said in a response to a question about whether Moscow would allow Turkey to participate in Brics events, "We would like to know the course, will we not?" But Peskov further noted that there was heightened interest in Brics from other states. However, he did not add that it was unlikely that the bloc can completely satisfy the desires of all interest nations, because prophetically speaking, you're only going to have a certain group of nations that's going to join this. Even if you may have a place like, let's say if Britain wanted to join the Brics, whatever you want to call it, the Brics nations, it may not happen because that's not according to the prophecy. You know, but you hear what they call Brexit, when basically the UK succeeded from the European Union. And you can read about that in Daniel's the 2nd chapter, 42nd verse on down. Okay, but anyway, Bible prophecy, baby. So let's go. It says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Okay, and if you understand anything about what's happening in the world in today's economies, this whole Brics nation is set up to counterblock the U.S. dollar, which is a fiat currency, because they see that a global collapse is coming, and a global collapse will mean detriment to anybody dealing with this fiat currency. So they're like, you know what? We have to have our own currency, our own systems, our own geopolitical systems, and we have to move in this way. That way, we don't be affected by the how can I say it? The negligence of the West, you know. But it says all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands in the house of Togarmah in north quarters. Okay, you got Turkey and his bands and many people with thee. But be thou prepared for thyself, and with all thy company that are assembled with unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Okay, so basically, Syria, Russia have to protect all these harmonic nations. Iran, North Korea, China is gonna get in the mix. You know, which, I mean, shit, Brics here. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South America. Just Russia and China alone is a force to be reckoned with. You know, and that's basically the biggest threat from America. Russia and China, really, Russia being their biggest threat. Because once China is done buying the debt of the West, then, hey, I'm talking about a pack of Skittles gonna run your ass $200. So we have that to look forward to. And these people, they're gonna lose their fucking minds. They're gonna go batshit crazy. And the Most High is getting ready to bring hell on this place, hell on earth. All right. Let's go from here to the book of Jeremiah 50, and I'm gonna start at 9. It says, "For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they should set themselves in array against her. From thence she should be taken. Their arrows should be as of a mighty expert man. None should return in vain." And those arrows are symbolic to those thermonuclear missiles. Okay. And it says, "And Chaldea should be a spoil." And another name for Chaldea is Babylon, because the Chaldeans were basically sorcerers or elites over the province of Babylon. This is where they go to get their sorcery and their counsels from the Chaldeans. Should be a spoil, and all of that spoil her should be satisfied, says the Lord. So everybody's going to rejoice outside of the partnership of this place when this place is finally hit. And we can't wait, man. It says, because you were glad, because you rejoice. O ye destroyers of my heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellows as bulls. And your mother should be sore confounded, which, we go into the concept of Great Britain, okay, being the America being a successor of Great Britain, okay, the independence, so-called Independence Day, so-called that they got their independence from Britain, which that's a whole nother story behind that. But regardless, when you go to Revelation, the 17th chapter, when it says that he is of the seven even is of the eighth, and the eighth should go into perdition, because that seven head being Great Britain of Esau's power structure, America comes out of that seven head. Okay, like when you go into the three little horns. So America does not necessarily have a particular head of itself, because it's the whore, like the scriptures say, the whore that rides upon many waters, roughly paraphrasing it. So ultimately, that seven head representation of Great Britain and America comes out of Britain, okay, which is part of that head, okay, if that make any sense. But it says, and your mother should be sore confounded, and she that bare you should be ashamed. And behold, the hintmost of the nations should be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert, okay? So I'm going to end it there, man, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Hey, keep your eyes on Brics, keep your eyes on Russia, China, Iran, and keep your eyes on the East and these small heads, man. And with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Lord, where you will edify into the next lesson. Shalom.